Hey, it is BessieLB, and I am back again with another episode for Ask Me BessieLB. Let's talk about it. So, going on, continuing with the 5 things that I lived by or focused on in 2020, today's elaboration will be on the political standpoint of 2020. I feel like 2020 was very interesting. I think we all thought that 2020 was going to be this like special number. It's 2020, it's a new decade. I don't know. I think when I was younger, I heard of 2020 being very interesting as far as like, I don't know, just the numbers being 2020. Obviously, we was then hit with the pandemic. Shit started going down crazy. And then there was the elections, right? There was the primary runs, and then there was actual elections, and dealing with Trump, and oh, Lord. I just want to say in this video, though, this is fully my opinion. My opinion, okay? I'm totally down to hear, especially on this matter, what it is that you guys feel about this topic. I feel like, okay, so let me just get into it. As I said in the first video, my heart had always been set on Bernie, and then Bernie didn't win in the primaries, and then we got Biden. I didn't mind Biden. During the primaries, I watched the debates for all of the Democrats. I think there was like, what, 10 of them up on that stage? And I got to listen to all of them and see how their standpoints were on what they wanted to focus on. Especially for me, a big one on this topic today is that I really focus on how you present yourself and how you carry yourself, right? And I feel like when initially we found out that Kamala Harris was running, it was like, oh, cool. It's a black woman. She's running. It's a woman, and this is like going to make history. I feel like anybody that was running first and foremost was going to be better than Trump. That was just hands down. That was just obvious to the world. Everybody was fed up. They was fed up of all the riots and the craziness and the separations of the parties and the Black Lives Matter and then all the crisis that was happening across the world. People was just fed up. Okay? So I feel like no matter what, people's mindset was already on anybody but Trump. That's basically what it was. Then in the primaries, you had all these people running. And I feel like with the Democratic Party, that's what I'm speaking on. You know, there's this black woman and she's a woman. And I had a lot of people of other ethnicities and of the same ethnicity say like, you know, well, you know, I'm gonna probably vote for her because she's a woman and she's black and blah, blah, blah. And the way that I've always grew up and being in government and politics back in high school, I really focus on the bigger picture. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're a woman, a man, purple, whatever. I want to vote for people strictly based off of what it is that you can offer to me. So one of my things is I had did my research when it boiled down to the couple of people out of like the 10 people on the stage. I was like, okay, obviously we have Bernie, we have Biden, we have Kamala, and then there was somebody else that I was just like, okay, let's see. I think, Elizabeth Warren was up there, all this stuff. And I try to like go back and forth between all of them. I initially thought Bernie out of all of them. Then I was listening to Kamala and how she presented herself, and my personal opinion was she really does come off in a lot of instances with that stereotypical black woman attitude. I can speak on this. I'm a black woman. I come off sometimes with that sass where I'm just like, listen, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I feel like a lot of us are guilty of it. And I think for me, that was a turnoff because I feel like that's always a stereotypical issue that we have as black women, where it's like, oh Lord, she's about to do the head rolling, she's about to do the like over speaking of someone or trying to be controlling and telling somebody what to do and giving them all of this. And I feel like sometimes in her debate, she would get like that, especially with Biden, which was so funny because when they announced it, in August or sometime around there, that she was going to be, he selected her to be vice president, I was like, whoa, that's interesting. Now, I understand in politics, things is all about politics. People have to get up there, they got to debate, they got to show who they are, and that's what you do, you debate. But I felt like sometimes she threw some little like jabs that was kind of, I don't know if it's considered professional about or not, the way that she threw the jabs. Not necessarily always what she said, sometimes what she said, but sometimes how she said it was just a little much for me. Biden did the same. Sometimes, Bernie he snuck his little 1-2s in there too. But I think that's very big on me on how you present yourself, and then just the history of her with California and things of that nature. She just was not my cup of tea. She's just not my cup of tea for just her background for some things, how she presents herself for in some cases, not all the time. I'm not saying she's unprofessional, whatever, but in some cases it's just a lot for me. And just something about her demeanor. I don't know what it is, but it's something. And then there's Biden. I like Biden as a VP, but I feel like really getting to see what he stands for and running for president was kind of like, I don't know if I agree with those matters. I don't know if those matters is very important. And then I feel like it took a shift being in the pandemic that he's like, okay, these are the things that's going to get me to win because these are the things that people care about. And these are the things that I need to focus on. And I started to say, hey, now I hope you get up in a chair and you say what you mean and mean what you say. That was my point on Biden's thing. And I feel like there was a little bit of iffy in between there. But again, I understand it's all politics and they're going to say what they need to say or what they want to say to be able to get through the campaign and to be able to win. All in all, it dwindled down to them, right? And then there was Trump and there was Pence and then there was them. Obviously, I voted for Biden and Kamala Harris. No crap. I voted for them. If I had to choose between, and at some point I found myself saying if I had to vote for the lesser of two evils, it was them. I'm not saying that Kamala's evil. I'm not saying that Biden is evil. I just don't feel like they were initially my first pick. And I hear a lot of people say that. They weren't people's first choice, but they damn sure was going to choose them because they feel like there's going to be a solid foundation with these two being in the chair compared to Trump. Am I happy that they won? Hell yeah, I'm happy that they won. Am I going to act like they're my favorite people in the world? I'm not, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that as a citizen, I voted for you. I need you to get in the chair and do your damn job and do your damn thing. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for there to be change through this pandemic, for there to be change that I can see that can affect me, that can affect my family, that can affect my friends. I'm hoping for them to do what it is that they've been elected for. So, no, they're not my favorite people. They're not the worst people in the world. I'm very happy with what's happening. I watched the inauguration. I thought it was a nice, wish off and then being sworn in and things of that nature. I just can't sit here and say that they was my favorite and that, oh, I'm all about it. Like I see these memes and people are falling so in love saying, yes, I love her. I love her. I love him. I love him. It's not really about that. It's about what they're going to do. And I respect them. I respect who they are and who they want to represent and some of the things that they do represent. So that's my standpoint on the political views of it all. And I'm interested to hear what you guys' thoughts were. What were your initial thoughts about them from the beginning, from what you knew about them prior to the primaries, what you learned about them during the primaries, what you learned about them when Biden got chosen and then he chose Kamala and all this stuff? What were your thoughts about them? And what are your thoughts about the results now? The inauguration was just a couple days ago. What were your thoughts on the inauguration? I really am interested to hear from you all and see what you got to say.